Good morning. My name is Jared. I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. And that just means I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And I'm sending out this video and let it be a warning. First thing I saw when I woke up this morning is that last night the new FBI director, Kash Patel, was on Steve Bannon's podcast and said that they will absolutely politically target with FBI investigations people they see as enemies. It's going to take sustained protest. I think that one of the things that we're not saying out loud enough is that we want to demand the results of Executive Order 13848. We want to know what happened in the 2024 US election. I think lost in all of this conversation, aside from, hey, we are in grave danger, the new FBI director intends to use FBI resources on American citizens. They're trying to incite you. They want you to become violent so that they have threaten violence. So they have means to just detain you and send you to a fucking Gitmo, man. But yeah, I think that here in less than 2 weeks, there will be an economic blackout on February 28th. So mark your calendars. Don't buy shit for 24 hours. February 28th, next Friday, a week from today. I know that it's hard not to do that, and some of you have bills you have to pay and shit. Dude, if it's going to keep the fucking lights on, pay the bill. But otherwise, mark it on your calendar. Pay out nothing on February 28th. And then we'll talk from there. You know that on my daily live podcast, I post links and you can click on them yourself and you can go to these places that are organizing protests. We have a calendar. We have multiple subreddits that we source information from. We're only talking about organized protests. The problem that I foresee is unplanned pop-up protests where the people that are the loudest are talking about abject violence. Understand that that violence is how they get to declare that the president gets to declare the Insurrection Act, which is what Russell Vought wants him to do, and start detaining Americans and declare martial law. And I know that organized protest, you can't arrest everyone, and so your resources are kind of ill spent. But at small pop-up protests where the loudest ones are calling for violence, those are the ones that have mass arrests and shit. And again, I just want to make sure everyone understands, when it comes to government and politics, my whole life people said I hate politics, I don't want to talk about politics. But now politics is on your fucking doorstep. It's time to start talking about fucking politics. If you have fucking questions, ask. That's what my podcast is for. My podcast is a chat and interview format, meaning I'm actually there to interact with my chat and to answer questions and have conversations, talk about what shit means from a perspective of, we're gathering news sources from reputable places. Reuters, AP are really good examples, right? And we're trying to deliver the truth. We're not necessarily skewing left or skewing good news. We're talking about like literally what is the most important story. So I'm making my first piece of content today on this is the most important subject. Kash Patel, the new FBI director, said last night on Steve Bannon's podcast that the FBI is effectively going to target the enemy from within. How about that's the most violent rhetoric used against American citizens by an FBI director ever, and a cabinet pick, right? Right? Or not necessarily a cabinet pick, a Trump pick, right? Used violent rhetoric in terms of the FBI turning on American citizens. So, obviously, don't make violent threats. If I could impart anything on anyone else, I've done a lot of research about socialism, and a lot of people's argument against it is that it has never worked. It certainly has. Okay, it certainly has. But let's take for a moment and say, but I agree with you that it hasn't, because I found 18 different in instances where a socialist movement turned out violent and it ended up becoming a communist state 18 times. So hey, history tells us that when your movement becomes violent, it loses supporters. Why? Because your violent people, they cost people. Attrition becomes a factor. And what you need are fresh bodies. You need people that want to participate in the resistance. And I'm a socialist because I believe in equality for all, and that includes equal application of the law. Incitement is a crime. I believe the new FBI director should be cited for incitement. And what they're trying to do is turn our peaceful mass protests into violent ones so they can declare the Insurrection Act and start arresting American citizens and deporting them or putting them in these private prisons that they're invested in. And I'm telling you, you have to stop using Facebook, Threads, IG, and get Messenger off of your phone. Get WhatsApp off your phone. Get Twitter and Amazon off of your devices. Stop using them. When you go to a protest, turn off the location on your phone. You're not recording yourself when you go. You're not recording faces when you go. You can record the scenery, the sights, but don't focus on people's faces. And certainly don't serve your dissenters. One of the things that I've seen that has to change is some people's whole energy is they fuck with Trumpers. But I'm telling you, you're serving a small audience. And these people are far more popular than me. And I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm just telling you. A social media company did a survey of Donald Trump and Elon Musk's followings before the election and found that over 90% of their followings were bots. So consider like Elon Musk's Twitter profile, 90+% bots, including he has a fucking account that he created that is actually him admonishing him. Or is that the right word? Complimenting him, running around being a fanboy of Elon Musk, talking about having like an intimate, close personal relationship with Elon Musk, and it's actually Elon Musk. So understand how, while they're more popular than I'll ever be, they're not as popular as they think they are by the numbers. They've got a much smaller support system than they think they have. They think that there are just as many people on their side as are against them. And I want to remind you as well, if you're creating content, This election was clearly stolen by like 4 million votes. There's mathematical proof of this, that 4 million votes were withheld from this election for various reasons. In an election decided by less than 150,000 votes. What are we even talking about? In fact, in the prosecution of election crimes document, it specifically says that uh, election fraud is most likely to occur in a close election. This was one of the closest elections in American history. We demand the results of Executive Order 13848 and the execution of the prosecution of election crimes document. We want to know what happened in the 2024 U.S. election. We got to start saying it and loud. We need the powers that be, our elected officials. Apparently, they need leadership, and we are to lead them, apparently. So this is me being a leader saying, we demand the results of Executive Order 13848 be made public. Everybody wants to talk about Jack Smith Volume 2, blah, 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 all this bullshit. I want to know what happened. Have a good day.